Man, just when I think I have finally wrapped up everything with the 15th anniversary bundle and I can just finally sit back and relax for a little bit, this showed up at my door today. So, who's ready to dive into the Eleos 12? So, fun fact, that intro you just saw, I filmed that yesterday. Actually, I filmed the whole video yesterday, and for some reason, while I was filming it, my audio was extremely spotty to the point where I couldn't use like most of it. So I'm having to reshoot this unboxing video. So let's try take 2 of diving into the Eleos. So now you know this is not going to be a completely fresh unboxing because I have already unboxed this thing once. So now I'm having to unbox it again because I'm having to redo the video. So anyway, now that that disclaimer is out of the way, magazine, let's open the box. As you can see, there it is in the box, just as it was when I originally opened it. Honestly, I am actually pretty impressed with this model. This was one that... okay, let's step back a little second. This is the Eleos 12. This is a ship that made its first appearance in Season 3 of Star Trek Picard. The lore behind the ship is that it was a medical ship. It's actually a really old medical ship, one that was in Starfleet service, or at least it could have been. There really wasn't any like solid lore for that, but it's so old it's been relegated to civilian service, which is why it has the NAR prefix, and it ended up in the position of Beverly Crusher after she left the Enterprise E. And then some years later, Vatic used the attractor beam on the Shrike to throw it at the Titan A. So that's kind of all the ship really did in the show. Anyway, so anyway, to the model, it looks really good. I was actually really impressed with this when I got my first look at it. Like that's the thing with these smaller ships. When they get to do these smaller ships in these larger sizes, they can really do a lot of work with the detail. You can see like creases in the hull plating, these little like docking ports here. There's another docking port in the back of the bridge. I think that's where the shuttle that Picard and Riker used in the show. That's where the Titan A shuttle docked. Some really nice detail along here. One thing I really do like about the ship is all the blue on it. I always like that whenever Starfleet ships can kind of add some color into them in some way or another. Like I know the Shenzhou is another really good example of that. It's something I like. I know some people complain that it makes the ships look a little too Star Wars, but I don't know. I like it. I don't know. This is also coming from a guy who commissioned an artist to make a Star Trek-ified version of the Naboo fighter, so of course I would like it. The main deflector, that is painted in, that is not plastic, so you're not going to really get any light pass-through or light reflectivity there. It's just going to be solid matte blue there. But the nacelles, those are plastic inserts. So you got plastic on the Bussard collectors, the nacelle grills on the body of the nacelle, as well as on the tip of the nacelles in the back. So you've got some light pass-through there, which is always nice. The model's body itself, the top portion is metal, so like this whole top portion is metal, stretching all the way to these struts in the back. But the crossbar thing, that's plastic. The nacelles are plastic, as well as the lower portion of the body, that is also plastic, which is not surprising. So it's a decent ratio of metal to plastic for these diecast models. Some of them, they tend to have only a little bit of metal and then like a lot of plastic, but this one, good, solid weight to it. So look at the back, you can see the impulse engines. Those are painted on, so those are not plastic inserts either. But given like the size and shape of these, I feel like plastic inserts probably would have been a little difficult to do without them looking like oversized and stupid. So I feel like the paint was a better way to go there anyway. Yeah, nice model, nice amount of detail. I'm fairly happy with it. My big complaint about it is that it's just like it looks good. It's just I don't really care about this ship. Like it's neat, it's just I don't really have an extreme emotional attachment to this ship. And this is where I go into a rant about Fanhome using this larger size as their standard size for the collection. It's just these cost more and they take up more space on the shelf, so I end up having to be more picky on what I keep and what I sell. And if this were like in the standard size, like Eaglemoss's original standard size, I probably would have kept this, but as it is, I'm probably gonna move this one on because like it's neat. It's just I'm not super in love with it, and that's kind of I'm having to be more picky because I have so little shelf space left. Let's try to get a close up here if my camera would focus. There we go. Nice close up shot to the hull. too close. There we go. Little indents for the windows, so there's probably going to be some window drift along there because they don't always get those aligned very well. You can see here they're kind of sitting outside the gaps a little bit. That is to happen. I really wish they would just not do the inserts for the windows, but you know, it is what it is. I get it looks better from like a distance because then you can see the window indents, but then once you get a look at it, you know, close up, my camera would focus. God, the autofocus on this thing sucks. There we go. Yeah, it looks better from a distance. You can kind of see like the window indents. Oh yeah, that's where the windows are supposed to be. But then once you get a really close look at it, then you can really see the window misalignment, which is a little annoying, but I mean, to be expected at this point. Like I said, it's very clear Fanhome is just kind of using the same processes that Eaglemoss was using, so you're going to get a lot of the good and a lot of the bad that you got with Eaglemoss. Here it is in the stand. This one does sit in there really securely. It fits in there into the little grippy parts on the stand pretty well, to the point where I was almost a little worried that it was going to be too tight, but nope, that fit in there pretty nicely and snugly. So it's well balanced in the stand too. I'm not worried about this thing tipping over or anything. This is a well made stand, which again, just like with the Eaglemoss, these are always kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're pretty okay, and sometimes they are just outright unusable. But this one, you don't have to fear. I am very confident in this one that, you know, that's not going anywhere. So I was pretty happy with this. For a size comparison, I figured I'd bring in the Steam Runner from the Eaglemoss collection. This is Eaglemoss's original standard sizing, so I figured I'd bring that in for comparison to see, you know, kind of give you an idea of how this is going to be compared to some of the older collection. And Steam Runner is one I wish they Eaglemoss had gotten around to doing like an XL of. I always loved that ship, and it was, you know, it's got some cool stuff on it, some cool details that I really wish could have been blown up into a larger scale, and I feel like that would have been cool. But sadly, they never got around to that. And while we're comparing sizes, let's bring in something that is from an earlier portion of the Fanhome collection. This is the Sagan class USS Stargazer. Just to give you an idea of how this is going to be compared to, you know, something that's already been in this scale. This is kind of what I was talking about before, how the smaller ships, they tend to be able to make them kind of bigger because the smaller ships, they're smaller, they're more compact, they don't, you know, they don't have these big long nacelles that stretch out halfway to the back of the ship, so they're able to amp up the size of these a little bit, which is why, like, you know, you look at this way, yeah, Sagan is longer, but the model for Eleos ends up being quite a bit wider. Okay, moving on to the magazine. Magazine SS Eleos NAR 59019. Eleos 12. I keep forgetting. This is one of the unique cases where they put the freaking number designation in the name, indicating that there were 11 other Eleoses for this one, which is weird. Length, 119.7 meters, Captain Beverly Crusher, affiliation Mariposa, propulsion of a impulse and warp drive. There it is sitting in the stand, right there, clamped right there on the back end of the saucer. Oh, while we're talking about the stand, I always see pictures of people, you know, putting these things in the wrong spot on the stands. I don't know why, but don't put them on this. This is plastic, and a lot of the metal is on the front end, so it's going to be very forward heavy. Which is why it's clamped there, I am guessing. So don't clamp it to these little arms. You're probably going to break something. Okay, first page, we get a nice render of the Eleos. Actually, let me raise this. There we go. Nice render of the Eleos, starting out with its description as well. And moving on, I think is okay. Nice orthograph of the ship, so you can see it at all its angles. And onto some concept art. This was done by John Eves. He was the one who concepted this design, which apparently he's gone through a number of different variations of this. So apparently they weren't always planning to do the whole like Starfleet motif for the Eleos. This, which makes sense. It is a civilian ship, so there was a time where the Eleos 12 may have looked a lot different. And moving on. some other concept art. Apparently, this artwork has been around for a while in Eve's collection that he's been kind of pitching various places. Like this one, in fact, this was, it just credits for designed for a video game. This was actually for Star Trek Online when it was still under the umbrella of Perpetual Entertainment. They had hired him to do a lot of concept art for their version of Star Trek Online, and then they ran out of money, so that's why that never happened. So, yeah, this in another life could have ended up being a ship for Star Trek Online. And then he also apparently tweaked it a bit and repitched it for the 2009 Star Trek movie as well, which is why it's just the same ship, but with TOS-style nacelles. And then here it is being more fleshed out into what it would be eventually become for Star Trek Picard, though still sans the roll bar between the nacelles there. And more finalized concept art, though this one features a more rounded deflector dish, as well as the name and registry number more up top on the saucer section, whereas the final model, the name is more closer to the rim on the top part of the section of the saucer, and the registry number is down near the bottom below the deflector. Also, like this over here, it's this little, yeah, it's the Mariposa logo. You know, some I don't know, maybe medical logos or whatever. That's a neat touch. I kind of wish that had stayed there on the final model, but oh well. Yeah, and that's the whole magazine. So overall, this is a nice model. If you like the Eleos XII, I feel like you're gonna be really happy with this. I don't know. I wish I liked this ship more, because otherwise I feel like I would be more impressed with it. But honestly, my only negative feelings toward it are just I'm just not that into the ship. You know, that's really it. It's not even negative feelings. I just don't have any strong feelings about the ship one way or the other. It's just, okay, it's a neat looking ship, and that's kind of where my feelings about it end, which is why I'm kind of like, I don't feel the need to hang on to this one, I guess, which is kind of a shame because it's one of the better models that Fanhome has done with the collection so far. So yeah, that's the Eleos XII model. I hope you guys found this interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this. If you're interested in signing up for the Fanhome Star Trek Starships collection, they recently reopened subscriptions, so you can go to their website and sign up for that there. I know some of the earlier ships are also available for individual purchase now. They don't have everything in stock yet, but like if you're wanting to get like the Titan A, I'm pretty sure they still have some of those. So yeah, check out their website if you want to, or don't. This is not a sponsored thing. I just like these things. I think they're neat, but yeah, so yeah, if you want to check them out, go for it. If you don't want to, I don't really care. I'm not getting paid either way. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And while you're down there, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, hit the affiliate links down in the pinned comment, or if you're shopping on the Epic Game Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. Any of these really help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Either way, though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.